Man, I'd really like to have that breakfast again. I think I'll just get it over with right now. Reset the day. I want to have that great breakfast again, you know?
No. I had a really good lunch. I'll reset the day so we can have that lunch.
No. The breakfast was better. I should reset the day.
No way. No. The lunch. Okay, well, before we do anything, let me check the lottery numbers.
Hello, and welcome to Random Movie Time. Today's feature is the 2014 sci-fi thriller, The Edge of Tomorrow, directed by Doug Gleeson, starring Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, and Bill Paxton. This tells the story of an officer in the Army who is a media relations officer, but one day during an alien invasion, he actually gets conscripted to the front lines. And being a terrible soldier, he dies right away, but he soon discovers that he can travel through time and reset the day, and so he keeps getting better and better. And eventually he becomes a super soldier. If this sounds a little bit like Groundhog Day or maybe Happy Death Day, well, then you're not alone. Shannon, what did you think about this movie?
Wow, I thought it was really boring. It wasn't that great. The acting was good though. I don't have much respect for Tom Cruise, I gotta say. But I was pleasantly surprised in this film. I think he did a really good job. And so did, what's her name?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, thank you. Emily Blunt. And of course Bill Paxton was in it. So the acting was really good. It was a tired premise. And there were a lot of holes in the plot. And I felt that it was not very well written. And it wasn't very remarkable, special effects wise or anything like that, which is kind of funny because they have all these crazy aliens everywhere, and you would think that you'd be really blown away by something like that in a movie like this, but it was middling to low grade as far as I could tell. So I wasn't very impressed with the special effects. There are a couple of things that reminded me of Final Fantasy. Like, the aliens in the movie were called mimics, which is also a monster in Final Fantasy. And I think it was Emily Blunt's character had that sword. She had this really huge sword, and it made me think of the Buster sword from Final Fantasy VII too. So I'm wondering if those were influences, if that was an influence. I was really struggling getting through this one. It was, we've watched some pretty questionable movies in the past on this channel, but this is the first time I was in my head thinking, please let this be over now. It was so painful to watch. It was just, it was just mainly because the script was really awful. There were so many holes in it. I think the redeeming factor again was the acting. I wouldn't recommend this one to anybody at all. It was really, I don't know what to say. It was really boring. And one thing that was really stupid in my mind was the two main characters. All of a sudden, they decided to strike up a romance in the last third of the movie. You know, instead of building it up and, you know, you expect it. Because in this sort of movie, you're sitting here going, oh God, they're gonna, you know, at least get it on or something like that, or fall in love, or... Mm-hmm. But no, it didn't happen. And then the last third of the movie, all of a sudden, all of a sudden it happens.
Yeah, you could expect that maybe he would fall in love with her because he keeps seeing her like day after day from his perspective. But from her perspective, she's just met this guy a couple hours ago. So like, why would she be falling in love with him? You know, it was really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing about this film is that they figure out that this is a spoiler alert, so I'll give you the spoiler warning. But they figure out that the blood of this particular alien called the alpha mimic, I think it was the alpha, makes, if you get the blood on you, they don't even say if you get it in you. It's just if you get it on you, all of a sudden you have, whenever you die, you get reset and go back to the beginning of your day or whatever that you got killed on. And so Emily Blunt's character had that ability, and she was working on a way to get rid of the boss alien. They call them the Omega Mimic. But she got a blood transfusion because she got an injury. And because she got a blood transfusion, the effects were countermanded. And so, you know, and so...
On you or in you?
On you or in you.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise gets the blood. And then there's one part where he's like getting a blood transfusion. He's waking up. He's like, oh, no, 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 no. So, I mean, yeah, that was just one example of a stupid, not well thought out kind of thing in the movie. But I don't really have much to say other than that. Obviously, I don't really like it very much. So I'll pass the torch on to you, Tommy. What do you think?
Well, it was okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting a lot from this movie. I did see it once before. But it wasn't the kind of movie that I was like itching to see again, you know. But I thought it was all right. I did think, as I said in the start, that it was a lot like Groundhog Day. But I mean, that's a fantasy that's kind of relatable. I think we all, you know, would like the chance to like redo something, you know, with hindsight, you know. So it kind of was fun at the start of the movie, seeing him get better and better until he's just, you know, completely befuddling all of his fellow soldiers how good he is, even though it's his first day in battle. So that was kind of fun, even though, you know, it was obviously a Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day ripoff. Well, actually, Happy Death Day, I think, came out after this movie, so maybe that was ripping off both of them. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, the rest of the movie was just like a okay generic sci-fi movie. Pretty forgettable. The aliens were very boring. I don't even remember what the aliens looked like, to be honest, and we just saw it like a couple days ago. You know, they had... I
remember the Omega alien was like this. He looked like a big upside down octopus or something. Yeah.
How original. Aliens with tentacles. But anyway, yeah, it was nice, you know, to see Tom Cruise being in a role where he's, you know, a little bit more humble, you know, like he actually like lets his character be made a fool of quite a bit at the start of this movie. Emily Blunt didn't do that, you know, what today would be like the stereotypical girl power thing where she's saying, oh, you can't do anything because you're a man or anything like that. That her character was, you know, like once she figured out that Tom Cruise was reliving the day like she used to, then she became, you know, on board with everything and all that. So at least they avoided that cliche. But yeah, it was nice to see Bill Paxton a bit. Rest in peace. But not a very memorable movie. I guess we have to ask the question, how many alien squid monsters would you give this one?
Oh gosh. Okay, you know what? I will give it 0.5 because the acting was quite good. But it was almost intolerable, that movie, to me. So I will give it 0.5. Half of a squid monster. What about you, Tommy?
I'll give it 2 squid monsters out of 5. I thought it was a little bit more enjoyable than you did, just as a big action movie, time waster sort of movie, but it's not a memorable one. It's not a classic. It's not something that you're going to be thinking about in the months or even the years to come, as I know from experience.
Yeah.
So
I'm not. That's one thing to consider. Like, I'm not an action movie buff, and I'm definitely not a military movie person. But I mean, I have seen action movies that I would give high marks to.
It's no Aliens.
And
that's what it's trying to be.
Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, maybe if we reset this day, we won't have to watch this movie again. What do you think?
Good idea.
All right. So we'll see you next time on
Random Movie Time.